Not all kings wore golden crowns. Some ruled with iron fists, others with secrets. Across the ancient world, a few rulers stood out, not for glory, but for the legends that still cling to their names. From the sands of Egypt to the heart of Israel, their stories echo through time, reminding us that some rulers were more than just kings. They were myths, God-claimers, and power wielders in ways that history can't fully explain. Today we'll meet 5 such ancient kings whose shadows still stretch long across our past. Will you dare walk in their footsteps? 5. King Nimrod of Babylon. Let's start our journey where the Euphrates River cradles the ruins of ancient Babylon. Here, amidst the remnants of hanging gardens and towering ziggurats, we find the legendary King Nimrod, a name that resonates even today, synonymous with power and mystery. Historians believe Nimrod's reign marked the zenith of Babylonian glory around 1800 BC, though the Bible paints a different picture. There, Nimrod is portrayed as a tyrant, the grandson of Noah, who dared to defy the Almighty after the Great Flood. The book of Genesis tells us he established his domain in Shinar, the biblical name for southern Mesopotamia, where he assembled an army so formidable that God himself intervened, confusing their languages at the Tower of Babel and scattering them across the earth. However, beyond these scriptural accounts, Nimrod's story is a mosaic of archaeological evidence, fragmented texts, and ancient traditions. Many scholars argue that Nimrod was a real historical figure, a warrior king who expanded Babylon's borders and left an indelible mark on its culture. Some historians suggest he might have been the enigmatic figure known as Sargon the Akkadian, who united the Akkadian and Sumerian people. If this is true, then Nimrod's legacy becomes even more significant as a pivotal figure in ancient Mesopotamian history. However, as with many ancient tales, separating fact from fiction proves a daunting task. Even the very essence of Nimrod's character remains elusive. Was he the ruthless tyrant of the Bible, or a visionary leader celebrated by his people? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between, lost in the mists of time. One thing is certain, the legend of Nimrod continues to fascinate, reminding us that even in the cradle of civilization, the line between ruler and legend is often blurred. Number 4. Pharaoh Akhenaten of Egypt. Now let's travel to the banks of the Nile and turn back the pages to meet Pharaoh Akhenaten, also known as Amenhotep IV, who ruled Egypt around 1353 to 1336 BC. This enigmatic pharaoh's reign was a period of profound religious and artistic revolution, forever altering the course of Egyptian history. At the outset of his rule, Akhenaten was a typical Egyptian pharaoh, upholding the traditional polytheistic beliefs of the land. But something remarkable happened during his reign, a dramatic shift in religious fervor. Around the 12th year of his rule, Akhenaten abandoned the traditional gods of Egypt and turned his kingdom towards a new monotheistic faith centered around the sun disk Aten. This radical change in religion led to equally significant changes in art and architecture. Akhenaten's wife, the famed Nefertiti, and their court were depicted in a revolutionary style that emphasized naturalism and emotional expression, breaking away from the rigid conventions of Egyptian art. The most iconic example of this new art form is the bust of Nefertiti, with its enigmatic smile and lifelike features. It seems as though these works aimed to capture not just the physical likeness of the subjects, but also the very essence of their being. The reason behind this transformation is a subject of ongoing debate among scholars. Some believe it was a genuine spiritual awakening, while others see it as a power play, a way for the pharaoh to centralize worship and control the religious institutions of the kingdom. Whatever the motivation, the impact was profound, reshaping not only Egypt's religious landscape, but also the very definition of beauty and expression in art. Sadly, the tale of Akhenaten and Nefertiti is not without its tragic notes. As the pharaoh's obsession with Aten grew, so did his isolation from the royal court and advisors, leading to a decline in his mental and physical health. His successors reversed his religious reforms, relegating Aten to the ranks of forgotten deities. Yet the legacy of Akhenaten lives on, not just in the grand monuments and stunning artwork of his era, but in the hearts of those who seek to understand the evolution of human spirituality and the enduring allure of the enigmatic pharaoh and his queen. Number 3, King Gilgamesh of Uruk. Let's now venture into the ancient Mesopotamian city of Uruk, where legend has it that King Gilgamesh once walked. His story, which dates back to around 2700 BC, is believed to be the oldest recorded epic in human history. Though shrouded in mythology, history tells us that Gilgamesh was likely a real king of Uruk, ruling over a prosperous and powerful city-state. According to the epic poem that bears his name, Gilgamesh was 2/3 divine and 1/3 human, the son of the goddess Ninsun and the king of Uruk. He was known for his strength, courage, and wisdom, ruling over his people with fairness and compassion. But despite his many heroic qualities, Gilgamesh was not perfect. He was boastful, arrogant, and quick to anger, which often caused him to make rash decisions that put his people at risk. A pivotal moment in his legendary tale is his friendship with Enkidu, a wild man of the fields who becomes his equal and confidant. Together they embark on daring adventures, battling terrifying creatures and overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. Through these trials, their bond deepens, creating one of the earliest and most profound examples of camaraderie in human literature. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of Gilgamesh's story is his journey to find immortality. After his dear friend Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh is consumed with grief and fear of his own mortality. He embarks on a perilous quest to find the secret of eternal life, traveling to the end of the earth and facing numerous obstacles along the way. Though he ultimately fails to achieve immortality, his journey brings him face to face with the harsh realities of life and death, reminding us of the fleeting nature of existence and the importance of living each day to the fullest. In the end, Gilgamesh returns to Uruk, forever changed by his experiences. He accepts his mortality and focuses on leaving a positive legacy behind, building great walls around the city and instilling his wisdom in the hearts of his people. His story serves as a reminder that even the mightiest of kings are mortal, and that true immortality lies in the impact we have on the world and the people around us. Number 2, Emperor Qin Shi Huang of China. Now let's traverse the Great Wall and journey back to ancient China, where the legendary Emperor Qin Shi Huang stands as a monumental figure in Chinese history. Ruling from 221 to 210 BC, he is best known for uniting the 7 warring states of China, establishing a centralized government, and initiating sweeping reforms that laid the foundation for the empire. Born as Yingzheng, not of royal lineage, he rose to become the first emperor of a unified China through sheer determination and strategic brilliance. His military campaigns were legendary, employing innovative tactics and cutting-edge technology to subdue his rivals and bring them under his banner. Once he had secured control over the northern and central regions of China, he set his sights on the south, conquering the kingdom of Yue and pacifying the nomadic tribes to the west. With the empire now unified, Qin Shi Huang wasted no time in instituting reforms to consolidate his power and establish a stable and efficient state. He standardized weights and measures, reformed the currency, and implemented a uniform legal code, making it easier for the vast and diverse empire to function as a single entity. Perhaps his most significant achievement was the introduction of a centralized bureaucracy, replacing the old aristocratic system with a merit-based civil service. This move not only helped to stabilize the empire, but also served as a model for future dynasties. However, despite his many accomplishments, Qin Shi Huang was an autocratic ruler, often employing oppressive measures to maintain control. He standardized weights and measures, simplified written characters, and initiated large infrastructure projects like the Great Wall, which aimed to protect the empire from nomadic invaders. Yet his ambition knew no bounds. He sought to conquer all of China, including the Xiongnu tribes in the north. He was particularly interested in defeating the Xiongnu because he wanted to expand his empire beyond China's natural borders and force the Xiongnu into submission. Qin Shi Huang's efforts would have a lasting impact on Chinese history, shaping the country's political, social, and cultural landscape for centuries to come. Yet his story also serves as a reminder of the complexities of power and the delicate balance between ambition and tyranny. Number 1. King Solomon of Israel. Finally, let's journey to the ancient kingdom of Israel and meet the legendary King Solomon, the son of King David and the most famous monarch in the Old Testament. Born in Jerusalem around 970 BC, Solomon's rise to power was marked by both intrigue and divine favor. When his father, David, lay on his deathbed, he designated Solomon as his successor, setting in motion a series of events that would shape the destiny of Israel forever. At the outset of his reign, Solomon's wisdom was put to the ultimate test when two women appeared before him, claiming to be the mother of the same child. Faced with this perplexing dilemma, Solomon devised a test, proposing to divide the child between the two women. Upon hearing this, the true mother's maternal instincts took over, and she immediately asked the king to give the child to her so that he could live. Seeing this, Solomon realized who the actual mother was and returned the child to her. This episode, known as the Judgment of Solomon, became a testament to his wisdom and ability to discern truth from deceit. Throughout his reign, Solomon's wisdom continued to shine, guiding him in matters of law, governance, and diplomacy. He established a council of wise men to assist him in dispensing justice, ensuring that laws were fair and equitable for all. In the realm of international relations, Solomon's wisdom proved instrumental. He forged alliances with neighboring kingdoms, including Egypt and Phoenicia, through strategic marriages and trade agreements, bringing peace and prosperity to the region. But perhaps Solomon's greatest legacy lies in the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. This monumental structure stood as a symbol of Israel's faith and identity for centuries, serving as a place of worship and a focal point of Jewish life. Unfortunately, Solomon's later years were marred by controversy. As his wealth and power grew, so did his ego, leading him to stray from the worship of Yahweh, the God of Israel. He introduced foreign gods and practices into the kingdom, alienating a significant portion of his subjects. Despite this, Solomon's overall legacy remained strong, cementing his status as one of the most influential and enigmatic figures in history. And yet, even as his story echoes through time, it serves as a reminder that even the wisest of kings are not immune to the pitfalls of pride and ambition. Which of these ancient kings fascinated you the most? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for more captivating tales from history's echoes of the past.